takes work. You need to be able to manage your time and resources. So if you've ever felt like you get to the end of the day and you don't have enough time to do everything that you need to, then it might be time to consider automation. And what I found is when you set up these foundational business automations, then it frees you up to focus on what you do best, which is working with clients so you can generate even more revenue. Hey, I'm Joyce Lehman, and I work with coaches and consultants to help them leverage their unique brand message so they can stand out online, sell more services, and make a bigger impact without getting caught up in overwhelm. And I do this using my 4-part framework, which focuses on messaging, marketing, mindset, and systems. So with that, today we're going to talk about automation. If for any reason you want the show notes, then drop the word tech to get them. For anybody who's gone through a live with me before, you know that I try to give you as much information as I can in as short of amount of time as possible. So the show notes are a great way to get the recap. And in today's session, all the links to everything that I am talking about. So with that, if you run your own business, then you know that finding time to do all the things can get overwhelming. And if the thought of using tech feels overwhelming, know that it's not, because some of the folks that I've worked with have had a severe allergic reaction to tech. But when they figured out that there are some simple platforms that can really help them save time so they can get focused on the income producing activities, then they had that mindset shift, and it was an aha. And now I wouldn't say they love it, but they really get it. And in fact, it's funny when they come to me now that they're like, well, did you know about this? And if you tried this platform? So if you're having an issue with that mindset shift, I promise you that these platforms, these automations are going to help. And it's also the strategy to know how to use what and when. So whether you're brand new in your business or if you're more seasoned, then there's a time that you're going to want to have even more automations than what I'm talking about. But for right now, it's getting your business foundation set up. Now, back in 2008, I'll tell you, technology changes. It changes all the time. I wish somebody would have come to me with these because it would have made my life simpler. So the very first one of your foundation is to focus on managing client and potential client relationships. So the best way to do that is with a CRM. It's customer or client relationship management system. If you're brand new and you don't want to invest any money, then I would highly suggest that you start off with an Excel spreadsheet that you save into Google Drive. Always save things online. But this way, you need to know who it is that you're talking to, whether you meet them in person at a networking event or you meet them on social. You know a little bit about their business. You know you can track the conversations that you're having. You know, it isn't necessarily a phone call these days. Sometimes it's reaching out through a DM, or it's even having conversations and then knowing, are they, what stage are they at in their buyer's journey? Is this somebody that's maybe even a potential referral partner for you, not necessarily a client? And then, of course, maybe they're a resource partner. I have people that I feed business. Will they ever feed me back? Nope. But that's okay, because I know when I refer my clients, these are great folks. So as I said, if you need to start out with no tech and you're literally at the beginning stages of your business, using a Google spreadsheet will help you, because that's going to help you to create your tags, how you're going to tag somebody where they're at in their process, because you're going to have to add those when you go to a CRM platform. Now, here's the kicker. An Excel spreadsheet, you have to manually update it. If you send out an email and you don't have an email client that automatically tracks if they're opening, emails that you're sending, some things get lost in the shuffle. When you're using a CRM that's automated, then it's able to track those messages for you, or actually it should be able to track. If you're looking at a CRM that can't do that, then I would highly recommend getting a CRM, because one of the biggest things is you send an email and then it goes into crickets and you don't know if somebody ever got it. It's one of those simple things that you need. Now, in talking about CRMs, a lot of times people go, How much is it going to cost? You can get a great CRM for about $30 a month. And as I'm going through these, know that I'm all about how do you get the most bang for your buck without having to spend a fortune, especially when you're new to business. So as I said, you can use CRM, and in the show notes, I've got like Zoho is a great CRM to use. Agile CRM is a great thing to use. In fact, when you're looking at strategies, if you want a CRM that can do a little bit more, then Agile, you can actually send marketing messages as well as a sales. You have a marketing pipeline and a sales pipeline. So that goes back to what are you trying to build for your business and where do you need the most help with? So Agile and Zoho are two great places to start. Another easy CRM is actually a Trello board. And Trello is something that for visual learners, if you're a visual learner, it's a great way that you get started because you move cards, and then they have Crumble, which is their plugin for their Trello boards. As I mentioned, everything is going to be in the show notes. So drop the word tech in the comments, or for those of you that I have sent me DMs via social, then that's great too. Send me a DM and I'm happy to send those your way. So the big thing is with any platform, never go all in and invest immediately. What you need to do is set up a free trial and try it. I wouldn't set up multiple free trials at the same time because you want to be able to test that particular platform to find out if it's going to be a fit for your business. So going back to the basics with CRMs, you want something that's going to track any emails that go out. These are conversations with clients, potential clients, resource partners, referral partners. There's a lot of data that can go in there, but part of that initial setup is knowing the information that you want to track. Okay, and just a caveat, if for any reason you have a Facebook group, then there's actually a great CRM that is specifically for groups, which helps you message and do everything through there. It's called Group Track. I've been using it and I love it. But when it comes down to strategy, you wouldn't invest in that if you have a brand new group. You need the basic CRM that way it's building your business foundations. Okay, so the next thing is scheduling in a snap. So the easiest way to do this is either through two scheduling tools that I like are Calendly. That is the one that I use. And then there's Acuity Scheduling, which is actually Squarespace has put that one together. So the point is, if you have a calendar link and you can add these on social media posts, it can be in your bio. Like if you have a Linktree bio, it's a great place to put that. You can actually put it in your Instagram bio. If you've got a website and you're looking for people to make it easy for them, that's the point of a scheduling link, is not to have to go back and forth and say, hey, I want to have a conversation. And then you have this back and forth of what's a good time for you. It's easy just to be able to send a scheduling link. Now, of course, you're not going to send somebody a scheduling link that doesn't know you. This is for somebody that's expressed an interest, whether it be maybe you have a clarity session that you offer, a strategy session, or you have paid programs. It's an easy way for them to go ahead and book. On the back end of your scheduling platforms, then that's where you can go in and set things up. So they get automatic messages that go out. You can schedule the different times for sessions. So maybe it's a 15-minute free clarity session that you offer. With me, because I've got different types of offers that we do via calls, I've got my 15-minute call, something I typically offer when I'm doing, whether it be a free workshop or, sometimes I'll just post out, like I've got an audit, a social media audit, which I go out and look. It's a mini content audit to see what they have. But that way I've got that. I've got a 45-minute call that people want. They want to really dive into the details that they're going to invest in. I have my 3-hour intensive that I do. So, and then I have an onboarding call for the incubator. So when you use Calendly as an example, you get one free link. So think about your business. It goes back to how you're going to use this, the strategy. If you're only offering one thing, you're brand new, you don't need to pay for a scheduling tool. Get Calendly and set up the link. Then as you start to see business come in, it's a very inexpensive investment to be able to set up multiple links. It integrates with your Google Calendar, the calendar system that you use. Like I said, it saves time because you're not having to do the back and forth. I can't tell you how many years I did that before I started working with all online clients when I was back in the corporate space. I wish somebody would have said, hey, here's a Calendly link. It was amazing how many emails we sent back and forth, which wasted time when I simply could have said, here's my link and let's schedule this. So 2 links, as I said, in the show notes, dropping those. But get a Calendly or Acuity link or whatever scheduling link set up, because here's the thing, you want to make it super easy for your potential prospects, your referral partners, your resource partners to be able to schedule time with you. Because thanks to smartphones, we have a shorter attention span than a goldfish. So if you make it too complicated, then somebody might give up. So that's why Calendly links, if I were to say the one thing, set up super fast Calendly, Acuity, get your scheduling link. And if the thought just crossed your mind, I don't have any clients coming in, guess what? Still get calendar links set up. As a business owner, building a strong business foundation, these are things that you want to have in place. So if you're waiting until you get a client to create a free scheduling link, that's the wrong mindset. You need to shift it to go, a good business, a business owner with a good strategy is going to have some way that they're managing the people that they're talking to. They're also going to have a scheduling link. Okay. The third thing is if you want to connect and convert. So as you're talking to people online, you can easily get lost in trying to keep track of your conversations all out on social. And if you're betting your entire business on social media, then there's a possibility you could potentially lose it. Why? Platforms sometimes, and it hasn't happened to me, knock on wood, I'm knocking on wood down here. But I have known other business owners, they've gotten permanently locked out of their Instagram, they've gotten locked out of their business page, Facebook, or even their personal page. Something has happened and they got locked out, and that means they lost all their connections. That goes back to why you want to have a CRM, so you're managing your relationships offline, right? Not on social media. But then when it comes to connecting and converting, you also want to be nurturing relationships. And so you do this through email marketing. It is one of the best marketing strategies ever. And it gives you a way that you can continue to drip valuable content. You can promote, whether it be free workshops, it's paid offers. But once you get this set up, then it's a great way that you can continue to connect with people. So when they're ready to make a buying decision, then it makes it easier to convert them. It's also something that you can have your onboarding process set up using marketing platforms. And there's several different ways to go. A free one, this is at the very introductory level, is MailChimp, but they have a paid version. I think it's like $12 or $13 a month. You want the paid version. So I had a client very beginning and she was bootstrapping, and I totally understand, but it's like, give up 2 cups of coffee and invest $13 in your business monthly for the paid version of MailChimp. Why? Because when you go to build landing pages, then they have free templates that are a part of that. You don't get that with the free version. You actually have to build them from scratch, which takes more time. It's going to get you more frustrated. And that's not what technology is designed to do. So I'm just going to keep driving this home. There are times that you need to make investments in your business to help streamline your processes. So with that, if you want to, constant contact is another route to go. You can have email set up. You can send out newsletters. When I work with clients, I don't recommend a newsletter. I like emails. I like short, sweet. It's about how do you drive conversations from email back over to social and vice versa. So you can keep the momentum going in both places. And then look at, so MailChimp is a great way to go. Constant contact is a great way to go. ActiveCampaign, that's if you want that next level. I am a former ActiveCampaign user. So if you really want to get into marketing and automations, the other cool thing is it actually gives you a way to turn it into a CRM. So that's why when it comes to strategy, it's figuring out what your business is, how you are communicating with your clients, and the platforms that you need to be most efficient as possible. So another thing to keep in mind, in case you're going, well, why aren't I using ActiveCampaign anymore? It's because I now have a fully integrated platform. It's called FG Funnels. So this is where I actually build landing pages, sales pages. I have email automations. I have my workshop automations. I've got my onboarding automations. It holds all my course content. I would not suggest going all in on a platform like that until you are ready to take the leap, because I have actually moved my coaching programs from 𝗤𝗠𝗄 to �think𝗏𝗏 to 𝗥𝗲𝗊𝗏. 𝗥𝗲𝗊𝗏 was a great interim before I got to FG, but I really wanted to go all in. It's about $100 a month. I pay for it yearly all at once, which saves me. But the learning curve is going to be so much more when you do that. As I said, start with simple, get your foundations in place before you try to bite off more then you can actually chew at the time. I'm a part of the FG Funnels user group, and I see people post they wanted a fully integrated platform and they're extremely frustrated because tech is not their thing. If you've got a budget and you can pay somebody to help you set it up, it's great. If you are DIYing this yourself, do not go for a fully integrated platform to start unless you are a tech whiz. But going back to, you got to sit back and go, what do I need for my business? Where am I at right now? How am I going to be working with clients? Do I have offers built out? Do I not have any offers built out? There's lots of different ways. But business foundation, you do want something that's going to help you connect and convert. And then number 4 is making social media easier. Now, strategy. If you're only on one social media platform, say, for example, you're on Facebook, you only have your Facebook personal page set up, you don't need a scheduling tool. But if you have, for example, you're using Facebook Business and Instagram, a strategy, you can actually post from Instagram as long as they're business accounts and they're linked, and it will automatically post over to your Facebook business page. However, you do get some analytics, but you don't necessarily get everything that you need. So the social media scheduling platforms that I would recommend, I was using later. I absolutely loved it. And then I kept hearing about Metricool. And I just switched because the analytics, it actually gives me, beyond being able just to schedule content and getting it out there, it even pulls in analytics from my website. It's got, if I were to run Facebook ads again, I've done that in years past, I can have all those analytics in one place. Going back to strategy, what are you looking to accomplish now? I always like to say, what are you looking to accomplish right now? And then if you're going to take that next step, you don't want to be thinking 5 steps ahead, but it's like, what's my business? What am I on track for? How is my business growing? So you don't end up getting into a platform that you can't fully utilize yet. Social media platforms are pretty inexpensive. In fact, you could easily get all of these that I have talked about, your 5 basic, for probably $50 to $60 a month tops. So if that goes back to, oh my gosh, I don't have that to spend on my business, maybe you need to do something to generate more clients, or maybe you need to see what you can cut back, whether it's coffees, it's a lunch out, it's the frivolous things that aren't necessarily going to help your business. Yes, they're fun. We love to have them, but you got to think about, as a business owner, where you need to be investing in your business right now. Okay. And then number 5 is getting paid quicker. If you're in business, you're going to be generating invoices and you're going to be taking payments. One of the first things I always get asked by folks that join is, what payment processor do I use? I currently use Stripe. It is integrated through FG Funnels. So whenever somebody makes a decision on an offer that I have, it makes the process super easy. Goes back to, you want the client experience to be really great. So if you have to generate an invoice and send it out to somebody, and it's going to be a monthly, say you've got a monthly coaching contract that you've sent them, then do you want to be generating an invoice and hoping they're going to pay you, or set up automatic payments, which can happen through Stripe? PayPal is another great option. You're working with very secure platforms. So it goes back to, what are you looking to create? And at the very beginning, when I was doing corporate and I wasn't doing, groups of individuals coming into workshops, then I had an invoice generator, and then I use QuickBooks Online. It's an accounting software, which is different than actually invoice and sending payments. So that is another one that, yes, I would suggest that you look at, but think about how you're getting paid and how do you make it easy for clients to say yes. So start there. Then if you don't have an accounting software, I'm just throwing this one in, you don't want to get to the end of the year and have all your things in a shoebox or in a file and hand it to your CPA and say, I hope you can make sense of it. And that's where, QuickBooks or an online accounting software could be very helpful. But in the meantime, I'm trying to focus on how do you make it simple for your potential clients to work with you. All right. So, and these are all easy to integrate with the platforms that you have set up. So to recap, because it's always good to have a recap. All right, the first thing that you want to do is manage client relationships. As I mentioned, CRMs are a great place where you can store all of your prospective client data. You can track, where they're at in their buying cycle. It's also a way to track resource and referral partners, but you need to have some way that you are managing client relationships. If you are brand new, then a Google spreadsheet is a place to start, but that is not the place to end as you continue to grow, because manually inputting all the information takes far too much time. And the last thing you want to do is miss following up, or knowing that you sent an email and maybe tech interfered and they never got it. So having a CRM can help you to stay on top of all of your relationships. All right. Number 2 is scheduling in a snap. So this is where using an online scheduling tool that you can very easily put on your website, social links. It can be, maybe you're doing a free Zoom workshop and you can include the link there if somebody has questions about your offers and they want to take the next step. Going back and forth on email never works. It wastes time. It's too difficult. So get a scheduling link set up. If you go with Calendly, it is free. It's a great place to start if you have one link, but it's also worth, if you go ahead and have more links, more offers, then go ahead and invest. It's a very minimal amount. And then I also mentioned Acuity Scheduling, which of course they are all in the show notes. All right, number 3, you want to be able to connect and convert. Never bet your entire business on social media, because if anything happens and you get locked out of a platform, you are, pardon my language, totally up a creek without, I was going to say screwed, but you're totally up a creek without a paddle, because you now cannot communicate with anybody that you had been communicating with social on. So this is where, using a way that you can connect and convert, you want to be able to, and it's part of your CRM. So part of that you can actually use in your CRM, but it's taking those conversations that are online and then building on those conversations using email marketing, because that way you have a cross-platform strategy. Because if you only have their social profile and not their email, and you're not going to get everybody's email, and that's perfectly fine. But these are for people that see that you're an expert who can add value, and they said, yes, I want to be on your list. So that means you've got to be careful with the information that you're sending out, so it is value added. And when you're ready to make an offer, if they have gotten through their buying stages and they're ready to make a decision, then it's going to be easier to convert them through a client. And it's also going to help with the onboarding process to make that so much smoother. The next thing you want to do is make social media easier. So if you're only posting on one platform, you still have to check the analytics on that platform. You can't just post and hope that something's there. You always have to check analytics to see what content works and what doesn't. But by using a social media scheduling tool like Later or Metricool, then you can very easily create content and you can schedule it to multiple platforms. And you can also easily check analytics to see what type of content is engaging. So highly, highly recommend. And then finally, for your business foundations with technology is how to get paid quicker. So that's setting up. The recommendations I have are either Stripe or PayPal. I personally use Stripe because it integrates with FG Funnels. But if you're taking recurring payments, this is a great way that you can get an invoice sent and you can have monthly payments done, but it just makes it easier. So as you're looking at technology, as I said, there's always going to be a learning curve in the process, but think about your end user experience. What's it like to work with you? How easy is it to schedule a call with you? How easy it is when somebody says yes, what's the onboarding process and how are you delivering your courses? These foundations, these tech tools can help you do just that. The individual strategy is going to depend on where you're at in your business, how tech or non-tech savvy you are, and then where you see things going in the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Like I said, there are tons of different platforms I have used. I can't tell you how many countless platforms since 2008, but over the last 3 to 4 years, I've really had an education when it comes to tech. So my whole goal is how to get you set up as quickly as possible so you can get focused on, income producing activities, the things that you need to do to generate revenue without getting completely overwhelmed. There's always a learning curve, but I guarantee once you get these set up, it will be totally worth it in the process. Now, if you want the show notes, because I've gone through and I've mentioned quite a few different platforms, I've actually linked all of the tools that I've talked about within the show notes. The final one that is in there is 𝗟𝗏𝘀. Think Groupon for tech. And that is a great place if you go, I need a social media scheduling tool and I want to check out some. They have lots of different new platforms as well as seasoned platforms that have been around for years and years and years that they offer deals on. They change all the time. Some of them are limited. Some of them are full on tech tools. So 𝗟𝗏𝘀 is a thing that I highly recommend. In fact, I've been introduced to a number of tech tools through there. But it is a great way to get deals if they happen to offer the platform you're looking for at the right time. So with that, if you want more details on that, reach out to me and I am happy to send you the 𝗟𝗏𝘀 information. So until then, I can't wait to hear how your tech is going to change your business. So as always, feel free to drop a DM in the comments. You can send me a DM on social at Joyce Layman or email me at joyce@joycelehman.com. See you next